Hi, I'm Chef Bobby Moore, the Executive Chef of the Barking Frog at Willows Lodge, located here in beautiful Woodinville wine country. I'm fortunate enough to be standing here with Bob Betz with Betz Family Winery. How are you doing today, Bob?
Doing great. It's harvest time, Bobby. Things are busy.
Awesome. We're in the midst of fall here. For me, fall means chanterelle mushrooms, means braised meats, it means butternut squash soup. What does fall mean for you, Bob?
Fall means no sleep. We've worked all vintage long to get these grapes right out on the vine. And now it's time to harvest. And the thing about the grapes is you pick them at their optimal. They don't wait. And you've got a nice window to pick them in a couple of days, but everything's coming on. All the grapes are getting ripe, and it's 24/7 in terms of the action in the vineyard and in the cellar. So we're busy right now.
How long have you been going at it so far this year?
We started about 2 weeks ago. This would be the middle of September, and we'll go strong until the middle of October, and then we'll still be fermenting and probably till the end of October this year. So lots of activity. A 6-week period of very intense physical activity. Harvesting grapes, crushing them, fermenting them, draining and pressing, barreling them down, putting them in the barrel room, and pretty intense.
In a few minutes, you'll take us through the whole process.
Yeah, we'll walk through.
We're standing right in front of a big, huge tank full of Syrah grapes that have a great aroma of black pepper, and they're just beautiful, Bob. What is your philosophy on making wine?
For me, philosophically, it's all about the grapes. You start with the best grapes you can get, and that means you do most of your work in the vineyard, okay? So for Betz Family, we focus on specific vineyards in specific areas, and within that vineyard, on specific rows. We work all year long with the grower to get the best character we can out of the fruit. Once we harvest, we treat the grapes pretty gently, gentle fermentation, gentle maceration, a gentle pressing, in order to optimize the character that we get out of it. As winemakers, we're janitors, we're mechanics, we're yeast herders, okay? And work really hard on just optimizing what we get out of the fruit. If you start with great fruit, you have the potential for great wine. If you start with substandard fruit, you're not gonna make great wine. So it's all about the vineyard for us. So Bobby, what we have here is the end of fermentation for these grapes. This is Grenache, one of Washington's darling children grapes. And these grapes we picked about 7-8 days ago. They have been fermented in these tanks, and now they are ready to go into barrel. So we're drawing off this free-run juice, the juice that it's actually wine now, that just falls naturally. And then we'll take the rest of these skins and we'll put them in the press, and we'll press out the rest of the juice. Both are valuable in winemaking. Free-run juice is the juice that naturally flows from the grape skins, and then pressed juice, is that juice that we get by pressing on the skins. Both are very valuable. They give us a little bit different texture and flavor, and we end up blending them in certain proportions to get the wine we want to get. Beautiful. This is delicious. This stuff here, this is one of my favorite grapes. Yeah. Grenache grows in Spain, in France, in Italy. It's found a very welcoming home here in Washington. The berries are sweet when they're harvested. It doesn't have as much color as like Syrah, Cabernet Sauvignon, more like Merlot, but it's just got this wonderful flavor. The flavor of kind of black raspberries and spice and clove, and I love the wines.
Now we're in the barrel room here at Betz Family Winery with Bob Betz. Now that the wine's in the barrel, what happens next? How long does it stay in the barrel, Bob?
This is the boring but sexy part of winemaking, okay? And by that I mean the wines simply sit in barrels in here, but it's so neat because you can smell the wood, you can smell the wine in the air, and it's a very cool time. For us, the wines sit in barrels somewhere between 12 and 16 months, depending on the wine, depending on the vintage. And during that time, the wines mellow. When we were at the fermenter, that juice that we saw, that wine that we saw, was really fierce. It was all angles, it was all laser beams hitting your mouth. What happens in these barrels is all of those things come together. They make the whole. They soften some of the fierce tannin, the flavors of the grapes, the wines now, emerge, evolve, change, and they knit together to form a unified whole. So for the next, this is Syrah here in these barrels here. This will spend about 12 months in maturation versus maceration out there. This is maturation. And during that time, also, the wine takes on a little bit of character from the wood. 100% of the wood in our cellar, 100% of the barrels in our cellar is French oak, okay, 100%. I love the character and flavor of French oak. It's soft, it's mellow, it has subtle hints of vanilla and cream and just this toasty, slightly caramel. But we don't keep the wine in barrels too long. In fact, if you look at Washington producers, Betz family is among the shortest time in wood. 12 months for Syrah, about 16 months for Cabernet versus 4, 6, 8 months longer for other producers. It's just a personal preference.
Right.
What we end up with, though, is, I think, a wine that is still vigorous and vibrant with its fruit, but has just that subtle hint of engagement with the barrels. Okay, so let's see if I'm right, or if I'm wrong. We're going to pull a sample of this Syrah here, Bobby, and you know, this one has just aged beautifully in barrel. This is a purple black. It's got lots of blue, purple, magenta notes to it, and is just starting to come together. We're going to keep this in barrel for another month and a half or so. About a month, actually. We're bottling this about a month from now, and then we'll keep it in bottle for another year. But over this last 12 months, the wine has taken on not only the character of the wood, but it's the interaction of all the elements in the wine that have made this wine a unique and a complete wine with tannin, richness, flavor, aroma, certainly color is evidence there. So, being Syrah, you've got lots of blackberry, spice, clove, sort of a meaty character. This comes from the oldest vineyard in Washington State where Syrah is planted. This is the oldest planting of Syrah in Washington. We've got an acre of this land that we farm with the grower at Red Willow Vineyard, and it gives us this wonderfully dense, powerful, yet seamless sort of character to it.
I think it's ready to go right now.
We can have this, yes.
So, is it in the bottle for a year before you release it?
That's the way we do it at Betz family.
Okay.
These wines are powerful, they're big, they're lots of character and body to them. A year in bottle. Remember that wine is different from spirits. Wine changes once it's in the bottle. Spirits, you put it, you know, whiskeys, scotches, and the like, you put it in the bottle, it doesn't change. For wine, because of the lower alcohol level, it continues to evolve in the bottle. We find that by giving our wines a year's worth of bottle age before we release them to the public, they tend to knit even more, get more complex and more mellow.
Oh, this is beautiful. Thank you, Bob.
You bet.
Cheers.
To a great autumn.
To a great autumn.
Okay.